All right, everyone. Today on the show, I got DarkRattler, and he's an OC cosplayer. If I remember correctly, you do transitions also, or artwork. Which one is it?
All of the above.
All the above. So you do a little bit of everything. Now,
Yeah.
first thing I tell everyone that's on my show, anything I say, or I think question I ask, or chat ask, whatever it may be, if it like bothers you, triggers you, could put you in jail or whatever it is, you do not have to answer it. You could just straight bypass. So,
All
with
right.
that out of the way, who is DarkRattler outside of content creation and your just everyday normal life?
Professional student. I've been in school for 11 years now. I still have 3.5 left. Dad. I work in behavioral health. I mean, most of my days are either work, school, or work, school, and dad, and spending time with my girlfriend and her daughter.
Okay. So you have a daughter and a girlfriend?
My girlfriend, my girlfriend has a daughter. I have my son.
Very cool, very cool. So, you have technically 2 kids then, right?
Yeah, if you want to call it that, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you got 2 kids. One's not yours, one's yours, and you pretty much raise each other like they are your own. I hope, right? Okay. So
Yes.
I take it, I'm guessing you're not with your kid's parent anymore?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you got your girlfriend, you got your 2 little ones. What is your favorite pastime to do with your girlfriend and 2 little ones?
Well, with Junior, it's cosplay. Junior does a lot of the cosplay with me. He's got his own character. So it's fun to do that with him. Before COVID, it was sports. My kid was playing football, baseball, soccer. So we're looking forward to getting back into that. With my girl right now, it's the show Vikings. And of course,
so I'm going to guess the show Vikings is based off of Vikings.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we watched what was it? The Last Kingdom first. And then once we finished that, she told me I needed to watch Vikings to compare the two.
Nice. Okay. And it sounds like a show I would watch whenever I find time again. But whenever you find that person, can you tell him I need to pay him a visit? We need to work out a deal, okay? All right.
Right.
Well, that's really cool. So what about so you watch stuff with her, you sports with the little one, and you do anything other than just sports? Do you play games? Do you do technology? Do you teach like
My
editing
son's
or
a huge gamer. I haven't sat and played Xbox in a while. But when I do, I'll normally play some COD with him.
the new one, Modern Warfare?
Yes.
Nice,
Yes,
nice.
And then Black Ops Cold War just came out, so I'm looking forward to that one as well.
A lot of people say the zombies. Oh, Hostile Bond, Wolf of the Void, War 4, they all play it. I watch them and they have such a goofy ass time because they're being stupid with zombies and stuff. But if you do anything,
one of my favorite things is World War II.
but if you do anything with Hostile Bond, Wolf of the Void, and anyone in War 4, oh god, it's insane. It's so much fun. Any one of them is so much fun. But yeah, that game is fun if you pick it up. Like I guarantee you both would have a lot of fun. So you do TikToks, you do all this. You're also in school. Why
Yes.
have you been in school for so long? Are you going for a doctorate?
No. So I started my undergrad after my son was born. I had decided that I needed to actually, do something other than deliver pizzas.
Yeah.
And I got my undergrad, my bachelor's in business accounting. But right before I finished that, I started working for a mental health clinic, and I kind of just stuck with that. I started as a driver and just kind of worked my way in. I got my first master's, my MBA, a couple of years ago.
Congrats.
And then I jumped into a master's program of public sociology. I put that on hold with like 4 classes left to jump into a master's program for clinical mental health counseling. I need my my licensure, my therapist licensure, in order to be director.
Oh, that's awesome, actually. That's awesome. Like, you are going the straight college slash expensive ass route to be able to actually end
Yeah,
in the
it's
end
definitely
run.
expensive.
Yeah, it is, and it's kind of ridiculous how, like, when people actually want to learn, how much money they have to spend to be able to learn. When ironically, 90% of the information, besides the actual engagement and like involvement of it, is found online. You can find all the information that are in those books online. Ironically, but you have to pay up to ask for those books, and then you gotta pay like crazy just to be in the school and learn the little things that the teacher and everyone teaches you. And it's very
And that's it. When it comes down to counseling, it's not necessarily just about the information itself. It's
mhm.
how to utilize the information, how to ensure ethics or stay involved. And with counseling, the world, society as a whole, evolves every day. So you can learn everything, but if you don't
Yep.
continue learning in the field, you're going to fall behind. It's not like business. Business tactics are business tactics. But with counseling, it's a whole different story. Like my MBA, yeah, I probably could have went through the whole thing learning stuff online, but I wouldn't have gained that same um, knowledge from the teachers who have been through it all and learned things that you don't learn in the books.
Exactly,
When
because
it, yeah,
you need to be there. Like anything you do in life, you could be told blah 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 blah, do this, do that, this could happen, but unless you are actually in the situation yourself, it will nothing will you won't learn what you need to learn. You won't remember what everything you were taught. It's just out of nowhere. You're like, oh, I heard about that. Now I can handle it this way, but this is really how it feels. Holy crap!
right.
And that's
So
okay.
when with the behavioral health, with my mental health counseling degree, a lot of what I learned, I already do. I when after becoming a driver, I ended up going into case management, and then I went to what's called care coordination, which is working with like the inpatient facilities and things like that to ensure clients receive the best care. After that, I became a crisis counselor. So it's everything I've done. I'm learning basically what to call everything I do. So okay, well that makes I've done that. Now I know what it's called. Now I know how to properly utilize it at the right moments and right times. And it's just a benefit that my girlfriend's a therapist as well, so I can go to her for all the clinical advice.
That's really cool that you can learn. You're learning all of these things and getting to the point where now you could talk to people and instantly get a click on, or not click on, but like understanding of what they're kind of going through just through a few words that they're talking about. And you're able to give them great therapies or whatever the terminology that you would do and help them out with. And that's awesome. So, what made you actually step into that field?
um, I wasn't exactly a choice. I started at this company as just a transport driver. I had delivered pizzas for 10 years and I needed something with benefits. They offered a driver position, transport clients to and from their appointments. After about a year and a half of that, I finished my undergrad, so I went into front desk. I wanted to go and stay in the admin department, business wise. 6 months into front desk, the director at the time convinced me to take a case manager job. And I kind of just fell into it from there. I left mental health for about a year and just worked as homeless social working, and I missed it, so I went back. So it wasn't exactly a choice. It found me in a sense.
So, would you say that's the reason for so many motivational videos on your TikTok page, so you can
Mhm.
help people and
Absolutely.
get them to realize that they're actually like, even though every thought inside of them makes them feel like they're a piece of shit, or their subconscious is like, oh no, you can't accomplish that, you can't do this, you can't do that, and you actually, because of all those positivities, that's why you do that. That's really cool. Because Blood was actually going to
Yeah.
ask why there's so many motivational questions. I was just taking a guess that it was because the field you're going into. Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's definitely inspiration for a lot of my what I call my feels ones that'll punch you in the gut without trying.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. And a lot of people need to realize that it's just you need to just be like yourself and like not care about what other people think, but then there's also other things going on and you have a lot of inspirational things on your channel and it's really cool. And
Appreciate that.
I haven't seen a lot, but what I have seen, I'm like, wow, that's actually really cool. Now you're in like a lot of OCs. You even do artwork. You do a lot of stuff, which is really cool. So what got you into doing TikTok and even creative stuff like OC, your normal artwork? Like, what got you into all of that?
So, I was doing all my spray paint art on all my CM spray art stuff on Facebook. Facebook became just one kind of cesspool of hate and drama, and every time I turned it on, I had this person talking crap to this person, or this person's political opinions pissing off this person.
Yeah.
I really got tired of it. So somebody had told me, well, why don't you just put your videos, because I was filming all my painting. Well, why don't you put them on TikTok? So I'm like, all I knew at TikTok was what my son was doing, and I knew he got addicted to it for the longest time, and it drove me absolutely bonkers. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I did it. And then I started doing the cosplay portraits. Because one of the first things I ran into on TikTok was Izzy Dizzy Spells and Primal Darkness. And so I had been doing portraits, selling portraits prior to that, but nothing to the extent of color and characters. So I did some portraits just out of kind of a tribute in a sense. Then a lot of people started asking for ones of theirs, so I started selling for a little while, and then I kind of backed away from that because the more I do that, the more my artwork feels like a job at work and not, fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you know what? I had all this kind of like thought of doing it, but I just was so damn shy about it that I couldn't get myself to do it. Finally, I said, screw it, I'll give it a shot. I bought everything I need, bought the ring light, big ass black sheet for my backdrop, and I gave it a shot, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I've been doing it since July 3rd.
Nice, and then you actually just won't stop because you love it.
Absolutely.
That's the crazy. That's how I feel about this. Like, man, before I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so tired because I wanted to take a nap, even though I slept too late and stuff. I'm just like, oh my god, I need sleep. Then like I get on the show, I'm like, let's go, yes, let's go. I love it, and it does. Right. Like when you're doing something that you love and you're trying to make like a career out of it, or like like you're trying to like make financial ends meet with it, it does kind of turn into a job. But at least it's something that you could get like lost in for hours and go, holy crap, the day's gone. Where'd it go?
Yes.
Where did time go? Get over here, man. Wait,
that's it. Especially with the artwork, because I can be out in the garage for hours just and not even realize that it's dark out and I've turned all the lights on so I can see.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually haven't really got too deep into painting since I started the cosplay. All my time has been going into this, whether it's flipping through trying to find good audios. Even when we're watching, my girlfriend and I are watching Vikings, she tells me to go live. Be engaged in it so the algorithm doesn't forget you.
Yeah.
So she's completely supportive in even when I don't feel like painting, because sometimes it takes you like 2 hours to get in a character. And then by then it's 10 o'clock at night, and I've got like an hour and a half where I can actually film and take a shower and get some decent sleep. So she's still like, you need to go. You ran out of videos. Here, do a blind duet. So it's been a lot of fun, and I absolutely will not stop doing the cosplay.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, you got a pretty cool and one that stands out because it's not the same from everyone else's, and that's like the goal now, because I personally think that there are a lot of creators that do deserve more credit, but the issue is with that many creators, everything is saturated and there's a lot of the same going on, and doing anything that catches the eye is like, oh, that's different, is going to keep people's attentions. And then after that is how you keep their attentions, as in like the interacting, everything like that. And I actually remember with the artwork, I actually did hit you up. You had an alt account for your artwork. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
did hit you up for an artwork, but I just never got around to actually getting it. I was like just busy and then work and then doing this. I totally forgot. And I still might do that. I just if you're still doing it. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Um
still do them once in a while. Yeah.
Very cool. Question from Blood. Did you expect to grow the way you did and meet the people you
Not even
have
close.
when you started TikTok? No.
Not even close. I
Right?
expected to maybe get some attention with the artwork because everybody loves spray paint art. Everybody loves watching the creation of it, especially when you do speed art or things like that. But when it came down to cosplay, I never even expected to get like 500 viewers, let alone just shy of 6.4 in the matter of about 5 months.
Yeah.
So no, not I didn't expect to go. Yeah, to me, 10,000 followers was beyond anything I could ever get to, and now it seems right around the corner.
And like the thing is, even with the big algorithm change after the BLM movement, uh, all these things are still obtainable. It's just this like consistently posting, being active, interacting with the audience, finding ways like, hey, if you share this, this could happen. Like some interactive ways of like getting people to engage, because having audiences engage and sharing and then talking and meeting each other with through a Discord or whatever it may be is insane. The people like that are in my Discord that come to my stream are like all brothers and sisters. We all have such they're family.
Right.
And it's amazing how TikTok has brought like everyone would consider like the outsiders, the rejected people, the people who don't fit into like the normal everyday like hi, I'm going to work in a costume today because I can. The people who actually are
Right.
like unique and have an actual like brain that's not conforming to everything else, a place, a home. And that's what TikTok has done for a lot of people. And it's
I
amazing.
agree. I think in a lot of ways, I see TikTok and cosplay combined as this generation's almost basically ICP from the early 2000s and 90s.
You mean Insane
What
Clown
they
Posse,
did
right?
Yeah, what they did is they attracted all the misfits and said everybody's welcome. There's no
Yep.
judgment. Doesn't matter who you are, what you are, you're welcome. And it became one giant family. And that's what attracted me to that culture. And then now with TikTok and cosplay, it seems like that's been this generation's version of that. That societal basically culture of bringing the misfits and everybody who doesn't feel like this side or that side into one group.
Exactly. And it's just so amazing. When I saw Insane Clown Posse, my guitarist got tickets to see them, and I wasn't. They weren't my kind of music. I'm straight melodic metal, and like heavy, but yet it has to it has to grab your attention like you're going on an adventure and touches your soul. If it doesn't do that, I'm not too interested. Like Kill Switch Engage, the end of Heartache. Like that's a very easy one to just say, hey, you know that you should know this song because it was in the 90s, last 2000s, I think. I don't remember. If like those are the songs that I like, and that's what Insane. I wasn't into Insane Clown Posse, but yet when I saw them, I saw what they're for. They're all for about like bringing people together, and it was just awesome. And then them throwing Fago everywhere. Oh my god! Did you ever see them
Yeah, I took my
live?
dad to.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
took my dad to a concert. We were front row, right up against the bar.
Nice, nice. It went
Yeah, my dad
everywhere.
absolutely loved it.
It was. It was like, what is going on? This is crazy, but awesome at the same
And they
time.
and they use diet soda, so there's no sugars in it, so it doesn't get sticky.
True. Oh yeah, that's right. It wasn't sticky, and that you could just wash away and soak up. That's the crazy thing. That's so
Oh
cool.
yeah, when we left, there was about 3 inches of flooding on the
Mm.
floor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, that's awesome though. Like I remember that was so cool. Man, on the right side of the stage watching, like this is insane but cool. What the fuck?
Yeah, we had a blast.
Yeah. So that's cool. So why did you download TikTok in the first place?
Boredom?
Boredom.
Really? um, when COVID hit, it didn't really change a lot of what my day-to-day processes were. Because of school and work and my son and I would go out, but I didn't go out very often. All my time was with school. So being home was kind of a normal thing for me. So coronavirus shutting everything down just made it to where now I don't get the choice to go out anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or want to, because I just don't want to risk getting my son sick. But I wanted to do more with my spray paint art, and Facebook was just, like I said, Facebook was just becoming one cesspool of hate, and that much hate in my life puts me in a bad mood, so I have to just remove it.
Yeah.
And personally, I'm somebody who doesn't even like to hate anybody myself. Like I'll say that I strongly dislike this or whatnot. I can't stand this. This drives me bonkers. But hate just puts me in a really bad mood. So I try to avoid it as much as possible. And TikTok was, it took all that away. I'd flip through for hours without even realizing that it's been hours. And my stomach would hurt, and I'd be crying from laughing at some of these videos.
I know, right?
And so it just being absolutely engulfed in admiring the creativity of not just cosplayers, but all kinds of different the transitions that happen, and just watching them over and over and over to try to figure out how they did it. And that, to me, that's a huge thing of anything, is trying to figure out how somebody did something. If I don't understand it, I have to, it takes over my mind to try to problem solve and figure out how they did it. And there's some of these transitions that I'm just like, I don't see how you did that fast, but okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with.
Yeah, some people like it depends on the person, because like some people will do one version of it and then do the same exact thing, but actually just take the other position, take a light, and then record all of it, put it in a program, and then cut out the portions you want cut out. There's some people who do that. There's other people who just strictly use the app. There's so many different ways you could do it. But using like Adobe to do that or an editing program is so much easier than doing through TikTok's app. Oh my god, TikTok's app triggers me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it triggers me. But yeah, it's amazing. Like when it is amazing when you see something, you're just like, oh my god. But what is the one video you saw that you're just like, how did you do that? And you still can't figure it out.
So I don't even remember who the creator was. It was when they go through like 500 hats in 3 seconds. And I couldn't figure out how they did it, because every time I tried to...
Adobe.
Like, it had to have been, because every time I tried to stop the audio, like 0.5 seconds later, it would delete that. Like it never happened, because there wasn't enough film time to where it actually didn't actually film anything. So I'm like, I understand slowing it down, but how did you slow it down that much? To me, it looks like they filmed 3 hours worth and just sped it up until they matched the beat, which I understand if that's how they did it, but I was trying to figure out how they did it with the app, because I didn't even think about Adobe at the time.
Damn, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. For you, just like, wait, what? How? Like, who? How did you do this? What? And I wouldn't have guessed that either until like if I wasn't actually using like Adobe beforehand. But like when I saw those, I was like, oh wow, that's cool. I could do that in Adobe pretty easily. I was thinking it reverse. I didn't realize you could actually use TikTok to do those kind of things. I thought everyone brought stuff to an editing program and just like mashed the stuff up.
No, I've only used an editing program once, and that's because I couldn't go back and film something after filming another. So I did a transition where I started as me and then transitioned back to me and then transitioned again. So there's 2 of them in there. And it was kind of like a back and forth thing, and I couldn't do that on TikTok. If I were to do that, it would take me like 5 different sessions.
You actually could do that on TikTok.
True, but I'd have to record me and then the next time record that. I realized afterwards, after I did it, that you can record the whole thing and then go back
Okay.
and just change pieces of it. I actually have one in my drafts that I have to do that.
Gotcha.
But I didn't realize until like a month ago, right before Halloween, that I could even do that. So I was using just some free software on the computer to just piece everything together.
Damn. A lot of people don't know about that reshoot function. Like that reshoot button is awesome, and I wish my video would blow up a little bit, but it didn't. Yeah, Hollow. I'll link up the video in the chat so you guys can see it. But that's the guide I made for it, and but anyway, that's really freaking cool. Like you're actually doing, like realizing that you could do that stuff, and then going back and going, wow, this is insane. Like, how is all this possible?
Right.
And
the lip syncing alone was just mind-boggling for me. When I first started, I didn't realize that you could slow it down to get the lip syncing to look better. Not only that, when you're trying to do humor, I noticed doing the slowing down, whether you can be absolutely phenomenal with your lip syncing on real time, if you slow it down, it brings more humor to it than real time. When I do my feels ones and my inspirational ones, I don't slow those down. That's all real time lip sync. But I end up practicing them for like 25 straight minutes before I even record. But when I do any of the comedy or any other one other than those ones, I have to slow it down just because it gives that extra
crisp
factor into it.
It makes it more crisp too. Have you noticed that like the videos for some reason just are smoother, crisp, and look phenomenal compared to like when they wouldn't be? It's like, what the? Like,
well, and a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people bag on other people for slowing it down, but I want to look at those people and go, do you realize how hard it is to say certain things slower? Like, you have to slow yourself down. You can know word for word the quote, but if you're trying to slow yourself down, your timing could be off. It took my son probably 4 full videos of practicing each one to understand that the timing is different. You can actually just listen for the timing and be a split second late and it'll still be crisp.
Yeah.
So it's not easy, but once you get the hang of it, it's super simple and it becomes second nature.
Yeah, it is really hard at first. Blood was like, let's do it. I'm like, no, normal time, because it throws me off. Because when you try to listen to the sound, there's no option to listen to in ×2 unless you're like going to record already. So if I'm already recording, I might as well start recording too. And but it really actually makes everything smoother, crisper, look cooler. It's interesting. I don't get it, but it's a really cool feature. And the fact of like just doing it in ×2 makes a big difference. I wish they did have that option, press ×2 to listen to the audio so you can get it just because like I'm very beat oriented and rhythm and rhythmatic. So when I hear lyrics, I really don't. I hear the whole tonal value, but I hear the beats and the rhythm of when things are. Those are my triggers. So when it's cut in half, but yet the lyrics come out smoothly, it really like throws me off. And it's like, what? Like, and slowing your mannerisms too, so you don't look manic. That's very true, Mel. That's very true.
Especially with things that you know the quote from. So if the quote is from a movie and it's one of your favorite movies, so you know this quote off the top of your head, you can say it without the movie going. When you slow it down, it's like you don't know it at all.
Yeah,
it's almost frustrating because you're like, I don't like this feeling. I have to say it normal, but it's so much more crisp, and so I fight through that just to get that crisp kind of comedic essence out of when it looks sped up a little bit.
Exactly. And then when you do 0.3 and everything's sped up, but it looks slow-mo. Like, it's so cool. Like, you can do those things.
I did one with my OC Blaze where I filmed it like that. Where it was in full. I filmed it in 0.3 or 0.5, I think it was. And it was just a simple thing of pulling off the chain off my head. but the way it came out, and then I used the show house intro on it, so it just came out perfect to look slow motion. But I've only used that a couple.
Okay. Okay.
I think with transitions, it's best. If you slowing it down gives you a crisper transition.
Yes,
but
it does.
if you can get it right with the speed up, it looks really, really good when the transition, all of a sudden, when the transition happened, it's all in slow motion.
Yeah.
It comes out phenomenal that way.
Really?
I love it.
Very cool. Very cool. Cool. So, what is your favorite thing on TikTok to actually do?
Zone out.
Fair enough.
If you're talking creator wise, my favorite thing to do would be anything with Nocturnus. Really?
Okay.
Whether it's the feels, whether it's the comedy, anything with Nocturnus. Nocturnus, all my characters, I want to say, except for Blaze, is an extension of me. So it's different extensions, things that I wouldn't do in public or things that you can't do in real life, and that are moral in a sense. So, for example, Axel. Axel's my asshole. Like, he doesn't care. He'll do these audios that are basically, flip you off or whatnot. But of course, those are just my internal angers or frustrations that I portray through the cosplay as an outlet. Then I have Arcfiend, who's absolutely dark. Like, he is my horror core, in a sense. So, but Nocturnus is me, just without the shyness, without the insecurity of being laughed at when you want to be laughed at. When I'm Nocturnus, I can be as goofy as I want to be, and it's just fine. So my favorite thing to do is to be Nocturnus, because all that thought and fear of being judged or being looked at and laughed at goes away, because I can just film. It's just me. I know everybody gets to watch the creation, but it's just me in the room, and I can have as much fun as I want to have.
Very cool.
That's
very cool. That's very cool, actually. Wow. Zoning out for the win, huh?
Zoning out for the win, yeah.
Nice.
Just flipping through until I can fall asleep.
Oh my god, that should be your hashtag, zoning FTW. That would be hilarious. So, you are going into the field of going into psychology and doing what you're doing. Like, what if you were able to make content creation somehow be like your career?
I would still do what I do.
You still would do what you do? Okay. Fair enough.
I would, at minimum, finish my degree, finish my licensure, and be independent. Get my independent licensure, because at minimum, say I were to be able to use TikTok as an absolute career. TikTok, so the way society works, TikTok's only going to be around for so long.
True that.
TikTok's not a forever. I can't do TikTok until I retire at 65.
True that.
And while some people can make enough money to last until they retire when they're 65, if at 40 years old TikTok's no longer a thing and I can no longer make content, I'm going to be bored. I have to work. I have to do something. So at minimum, I would get my licensure and just do what's called telehealth counseling. Basically counseling, like talk to people like we're talking now.
Okay.
But I mean, it would be great to make an income off of it, but I couldn't walk away from what I do.
That's awesome.
Nobody gets into the mental health field to make money.
Oh yeah.
Really,
it's just a plus.
And if they do, then they're gonna get a huge surprise.
Right. Yeah, that's something you have to love to be really good at and actually help people with. Like that's what your job is. And
we go through a lot of stress and a lot of we have to learn how to debrief on the drive home
Mm-hmm.
so we don't bring the things that we hear and see from work to the house with us.
No, that makes sense
So
because you hear some some real messed up things. So are you
yeah, you
able to?
can.
So are you? If you're able to disclose, what is the most messed up scenario you've had to deal with or talk about?
Suicide.
Okay, like
That would
any,
that
just like
well,
hands down.
yeah, hands down. That's some of the worst. There's the trauma of things that people go through as kids and all that. But when they're in that moment to where they have those thoughts, to me, that's the hardest thing to help somebody out of. So,
Through that, through that.
and
Yeah,
I prefer to work with adults over kids.
yeah, that's got to be a lot harder, like dealing with kids
Yeah,
and stuff, and because
yeah,
they're more
that's something I don't have the stomach for, really.
fair enough. Yeah. Cosplay equals self care. Yeah, I could see that. That's actually it's very therapeutic because you can post stuff
Yes.
and express yourself. Yeah, you get comments every now and then, but it doesn't matter. It's like whatever it is, what it is. So very interesting. Very interesting. You are a dad. You go to work. You go to school. So you only got how many credits left to graduate, or you got 3 years?
Okay, so I want to say a year and a half of education left on this degree, and then I have what's called practicum and internship before I actually graduate. I have to do, I want to say it's like a total of 1,500 hours of practicum and internship.
Yeah, that's about a year
So
and a half. Yeah.
it takes about 9 months to complete it all. Um, so once I finish that, then I'll finish the degree. But of course, I'll probably end up just coughing up the cash out of pocket to finish my public sociology degree and just have three of them.
Jesus Christ. Man, I couldn't do that. When I was in school, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't deal with it. Like,
Don't get me wrong. I'm at a point now where I just took a 2 week break from school because I'm losing that. I love to learn. I love doing homework in a sense, but after a while, yeah, it does become really tedious. Especially the struggle I'm having with the classes now is I do this for a living. So I get off work to go home to do homework that's also work.
mm,
So I don't get a break sometimes. So it really just depends on the class and how interesting the class is on whether or not I can just work through it or I hate getting on to do the homework.
yeah, who doesn't, who actually likes homework? But that's where you learn a lot of stuff.
I
Like,
used to love homework.
how? How? When I was in school, I always hated homework. Like, how does one love homework?
Well, when I was in high school, I never did homework. I just did the work like 15 minutes before it was due and turned it in.
Okay.
But with college, it feels different. Doing the homework allows me to basically it gives me a problem I have to figure out.
Okay.
And figuring out a problem and finding a solution to things is what it almost becomes an addiction. Like if I don't have a problem that I'm working on or a goal I'm working on and I feel stagnant, it puts me in a bad mood. Like right now, the goal I have is my girl and her daughter are moving in this month. So right now I'm working on the house to try to prepare for them because the extra room, which is this room here, which is what I've used for TikTok, will now become her daughter's room. So, and then my room, I have to clean out half the closet and do all that stuff. So that's what I've been doing all day is prepping for them. To me, that's my goal. That's my problem I have to solve. Once
Okay.
that's done, I'll find something else. Homework gives me that I have to complete this. I have to read what this says, find out
Hmm.
the answer, and put it on the paper.
That's
So
interesting.
yeah, until it starts becoming like the homework is just repetitive and tedious, and it's driving me absolutely nuts. I just don't feel like doing it.
Fair enough. Do the roar. But yeah, that's really. I don't know. I don't get it. I understand what you're saying, but for me, I'm just still like, no. I hate homework. I really do. I always did. I hated school because I don't know why. It just seemed like I never was like I always felt like I was just bored there, like always bored, and it drove and like I'm here to do what? Like I never got it. I never understood it. That was like kind of my thing. Probably just like I had a bad school experience and just never liked school
In
because
high
of it.
school, it's easy to have that thought process because you're put into classes. You don't get to choose what your classes are or choose what you get to learn. Once you're in college, you choose your path, you choose your degree.
Hmm.
So once you get through all the core classes and all that, once you get to like the second half of your undergrad or even your graduate school, it's all centralized towards what you want to learn, the field that you want to study in. So it kind of allows you to keep your interest in that rather than forcing you into classes that you don't want to take. When you're in high school, you're forced into classes that you don't want to take, like math or social studies or biology that you have no interest in science whatsoever. So, yeah, it's a little different once you get into the higher levels. Graduate school for me is my favorite because it's so centralized to what you want to learn, and it's
Interesting.
a lot less.
Interesting. Huh. I never thought of it that way because I always got stuck doing the basic classes. I did do a little college and did a lot better than I did in high school, ironically, with like some of the classes, and it's just like whatever. But I never continued because I don't know, I just didn't see it. Oh my god. Look, squirrel with titties! I love that one. Plus high school holds a different development stage mindset. I know, right? It really does. Like you're a totally different person. And then Mystery Pop Tart, I wish I had homework so I have something to do now besides cleaning all the damn time. Fair enough. So like besides like doing the going to school to do that and doing the creation stuff, like what do you plan on where do you plan on seeing yourself within the like next 5 years?
Well, my son is 11, so he doesn't turn 18 for 7 more years. So I'll still be here, living in Arizona. But 5 years, I should finish my independent licensure and be starting a whole new chapter in my career.
Oh wow.
Um, so the next 5 years are working towards that goal. It'll take me about that to get there.
Nice, nice. So once you get there, what will happen?
Well, unless I can get director prior to that, director of our facility or one of the community-based facilities clinics is my goal.
Nice, nice. So you want to be like
I
the
want to
head.
I want to go into high admin.
Gotcha. So you want to be like pretty much like the boss of like that like area in a sense, right? Or am I misunderstanding?
Being the boss is a part of it. To me, I want to be in a position that helps create policy that betters the system rather than just helping the individual person. I've always had this sociology look at things to where I want to help a group of people rather than one specific person.
Okay.
Helping create policy that better serves the community, our clients, is to me has a wider range of possibilities than helping that one specific person.
Nice. Very nice. That's interesting. Wow, that's really cool. Huh. So like when you wow, we could go on that topic for hours and days. I could tell. But let's go back to TikTok a little bit.
All right.
So, who are your actual like favorite creators on TikTok?
Ooh, I say some of my favorite creators are bar none, Ash Immortals.
Oh my god, I just had her on the show.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yes, that was an awesome time.
And I have to say, I really like the evolution of Ishness's content from before the haircut to after, and how the evolution of it. I really, really, really liked watching that entire evolution of the content. So definitely one of my top five.
Fair enough, and those are some good ones. Yeah,
Yes.
those are good ones. Bar none, I don't know, but Ash, Ishness, I know those. Those, yeah.
Yeah, Barno's he's not cosplay. He's more of just your I don't give a fuck type creator. The
Okay.
things he says crack me up.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So,
He's in a sense dark humor.
got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, dark humor's good if done right. Like,
Correct.
yeah, like your girlfriend. If your girlfriend's a 1, just throw some gasoline and throw a match on her. She'll be a 10 for the rest of her life.
Right.
So that's really cool. So like, I don't even know where to go, like, because there's just so many things we could talk about actually. Like with TikTok. What? Let's just do this. What do you think TikTok changed their algorithm too much to cater to more mainstream?
I think that's the way that they need to do to survive. Um, you have to
Okay.
remember that TikTok is still a business, and they're a business that provides a free service. So they have to cater to what's society deems as what's popular. That way, they are because the more popular ones, they're the ones that allow the ads to. They're the ones that allow the ads to be put on there. That'll talk about Pepsi or um, what is it, Bang Energy Drink, or have sponsors because the sponsors also pay TikTok. So, and the more popular ones, they receive the most gifts in their lives, which makes TikTok more money. So they really have to cater to the popular ones. But I think that their new algorithm, I want to say there's more than one. I want to say there's at least 3 different algorithms that they rotate. And the purpose of that is to ensure that nobody figures out the algorithm.
Yeah, at one point I did figure it out. I figured out what it liked, and then they changed it.
Yeah.
And that's when me and Blood right here were getting at least like 6 to 10K views per video, and then have
Right.
one a week blow up to at least like 100K, and then if lucky, like 200, 300K. Like,
Right.
and now it's like, nope. Nope.
Yeah, I'm lucky if mine get hit like 500.
Yeah, and like that's not right. I know so many creators who are actually really good creators that just can't catch a break or hit that lottery at the right time.
And that's kind of what it is hit that lottery. And
Mm-hmm.
I also noticed that specific types of thing grasp attention more than others. And what I noticed is that there are types of content that I always told myself I don't even want to do. And that's kind of like, in a sense, and I don't like to use the word begging for followers.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones where you're like, I bet you won't push the follow button, or things like that, that grasps people's attention. That instantly clicks into their mind where like they instantly go into that rebel mode of following.
Yep.
Now, I started doing the blind duets, and I started noticing that a lot of my bigger video views were coming from those blind duets.
Really? The blind
And yeah,
reactions?
because and I love watching the blind duets as well because you get to watch the first content, but then you get to watch somebody's reaction to it. So I love watching people laugh their ass off because of something. To me, watching somebody laugh, genuinely laugh, is funny to me. So I love videos like that. So I started noticing that those are the ones that would hit like 6, 7, 10,000 views. So I started doing those. And then I started noticing that I'd get more followers because. But then I also noticed that sometimes my following would drop a little bit because those people that hit the follow button, then they finally realized, why do they have a bunch of cosplay stuff on their For You page?
Mm.
And they're like, I don't remember following this guy. So they unfollow. It happens all the time.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
drop like 15 out of nowhere because people realize they followed somebody that they didn't intend to because they didn't bother looking at my page first.
Yeah. That is what it is though. And yeah, Lynx is lucky if he gets 100, and Mel has a good point. Well, Mermaid in chat. If they keep doing it though, people will get exasperated and leave, especially as other platforms have jumped on the same format. Like, YouTube has YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Then there's
Twitter
another
has their own. Oh no,
Twitter,
Instagram has their own.
Instagram has one, and now who is it? There's a new one called Clips app or something. It's going to be an
Right.
18 or older version. So you could post whatever you want on that one. I think there's also obviously limitations, but
Sure.
it's still point being. There's already like other apps that are doing it, and like us OCers might have way better luck to get exposure on a different app. Like, and that's the sad thing.
And here's my argument to that: is TikTok is in a sense the pioneer of this type of technology, these type of videos. So for us to get more exposure on another app, the general population would have to leave TikTok to go to that app, or who are we getting the exposure from? If all cosplay creators go to that, the only exposure we're getting is from cosplay creators.
Vine was actually the original pioneer of this kind of video format.
Vine?
Yeah.
Wasn't that this? Okay, what was TikTok prior to?
Musically.
Okay, Musically. Okay, I was connecting Vine and TikTok as one thing.
I get you.
Now they started, but TikTok is what blew it up. Yes. Everybody knows what TikTok is a household name. For us to get a decent type of following on another app, it would have to become the household name. And to Mermaid, it says if they keep doing it, though, people will get exasperated and leave. TikTok doesn't care. No,
they don't.
These smaller creators can leave all they want. The TikTok's not going to notice. And the reason, and no matter how bad it sounds, TikTok is still a business. So think about going in, if you're working at McDonald's and someone says, "I'm going to tell all my friends not to come in here." What's your thought going to be? Okay. Yeah. What's that going to do? McDonald's is a king of companies. We're not losing business because you don't want to buy a Big Mac.
Yeah.
So they're not really losing anything. They would have to have a mass amount of loss.
Basically, what happened to Vines is what would have to happen for TikTok to go under and stuff, like you're saying. Yeah.
And TikTok is too big to fail at this point. Not even Trump took down TikTok. So TikTok's too big to fail. It's going to be around. And I don't think that any other. TikTok is Facebook in a sense. Vines was MySpace. They started it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Facebook came over and just railroaded the crap out of them and just kicked them right out.
Yeah.
So, but Facebook's never going to go away. It's a household name until they shut down.
Yeah, true that. And like even with but like the thing is like with Insta and YouTube too, like they already have the fan base, but with new apps, new apps would be the ones that wouldn't be able to like hold a flame to any of these companies right now. They might, you never know. But in time, like we'll see what happens. But point being, like people are going to stay on TikTok. People are going to create content for TikTok, YouTube, Insta, the new apps, because it's just going to help your exposure and people meeting you. I'm doing good, Jenna. Just enjoying this interview.
Yeah, and even if somebody tries to go to a different app, they're still going to post on TikTok.
Exactly.
They'll just post on both. They're not going to leave TikTok. They're just going to add their videos to something else as well. So leaving TikTok, I think it's become such an important role in all of us creators' lives that if we walked away from it before we were ready to walk away from it, or walked away from it out of frustration, we'd be back.
True that. So, I'm still listening.
So, I mean, it's like it's the same thing as taking a break. You don't have to take a break so long before you start missing it again.
Yep. Fair enough.
Or it's like quitting a job because you had a bad day because you never wanted to quit the job in the first place.
True that. Thank you for those titties, Hollow Pumpkin. Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, there's been so many times I want to quit my job, but I have bad days almost every day because everyone does not know how to do their job. Anyway, and I don't feel like taking a responsibility and being the supervisor because no. But anyway, with all of this being said, like we could talk about the TikTok algorithm, all this, and TikTok all together like that for like a whole like 3 hours because there's a lot to discuss about it. But we're actually reaching the hour mark. We're pretty much right there. Now, if Chad has any questions, go ahead and start asking away. And if you have anything specifically you want to ask or answered, then now's your time. But there is 3 questions that I will ask. But what are you looking for? Down? What do you see, babe?
I'm just looking at the chat.
This one? Mystery Pop Tartificial. Small TikTokers that you hope to see get big.
I think Lily Anxious doesn't get enough recognition or the growth that she deserves. It took her a lot long. It took her the longest I've seen out of any new creator to reach that 2,000 mark or even the 1,000 mark. And I think once people start recognizing her, that she's going to blow up, and that she's kind of the one I've watched since the beginning to try to see how quickly she boosts, because she's going to boost at some point. It's just a matter of time for her.
Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about Top Creeps. Her content is phenomenal, and she's not even at 1,000. And somehow she's just not blowing up. It's so weird, but she makes great content. I don't get it.
I also noticed that duets don't happen as much as they used to, and people duet the bigger creators more than they do the smaller ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm right there as a guilty of that, because I suck at remembering to even do duets in the first place. I'll film for 2 hours and then clean up and then realize I didn't do a single.
Right.
So I've got all these videos saved to do duets that I just keep forgetting about, because I get so engulfed in doing these 20 videos I've been preparing for, and then I'm exhausted, sweating because this room has no ventilation, that I completely space it. So I think if creators started duetting more, it would bring more awareness. Because if you post your video and then I post your video, that doubles your chances to get seen on.
And then, so if I duet, essentially what happens is that if I duet you, my audience sees you. If you duet me, your audience sees me. And it circulates. And, that's true. People should duet a lot more, regardless of the size of the account. But, yeah.
Right. I also think the algorithm likes duets.
Huh. I
think that the algorithm, because there's a lot of big name creators out there, or creators that have a lot of following, that all they do is duet. They don't do original content at all. They do duets. And that's literally all they do, are blind reactions or just reactions to videos that they've seen. And they're just sharing, wanting other people to see it. So if you post a video, that gives you one video in the algorithm to be blown up. If I do a duet of your video, now you have 2 chances of your video blowing up.
That's
sure,
true.
It's on my account, but people are still going to see yours. You're still tagged in it. They can still go to the original. When I like a duet, I like them both, the original and the duet, because you only get to see a small screen of the original one.
Yeah.
Once I've watched the reaction, I want to go back and watch the full screen version of that video. So it boosts your chances of the algorithm grabbing your video out of the pile. So the more duets that people do of yours, the bigger you're going to get.
That makes a lot of sense, because a lot of other people who are bigger, they had a lot of duets done to them. A lot of duets they've done. Interesting. That's a very good look on it.
That, and people have stopped doing the account takeovers ever since the TikTok, what's it called? The over 10,000 you paid for views.
The Creator's Fund, which I think is a joke.
Yeah, the Creator's Fund. It's going to start out as a joke. They can't fix problems until it launches. And they're not going to know. They can only guess at how it's going to affect people. They can only guess on how many people are going to get the views. But I think if it gives them more time, they'll have it'll be a lot smoother, and people will actually start, because a lot of the big creators are still on it.
Yeah.
And they're still getting money off it. And I think you get 3 cents for every 1,000 views.
It also depends on interaction, how many people duetted your video, because I think you actually get a portion of videos that you've done that are duetted. But it's 2 cents to 1 point something to 2 point something per 1,000. It's very weird, because I've done the math. I made a video about it on YouTube, and it's there's no real rhyme or reason. There's no real data collection, and it's random. One day I woke up, I got 80 cents. I was like, what? And while every other day I'm getting a penny. And there was no video on there that was different. It was just like, what?
Well, and I also think that while they allow people who are at 10,000 to join the Creator Fund, it's not meant for them.
Yeah.
If you have less than 50,000 followers, it's not meant for you. They allow you in because it gives you that motivation to keep growing.
True that.
But it's not meant, because if you have 10,000 and you say that the 10% thing is real, where you're supposed to get 10% of your followings in views. That's 1,000 views per video. That's 3 cents per video you make. Are you really doing much out of it? Because then you're looking at how much you're making, and it's deterring you away from TikTok, rather than being like, I got 1,000 views on this one video. So you take an accomplishment of 1,000 views and you turn it into a negative because you only got 3 cents. When you're judging your content based on how much money you've made, it's going to deter you. And I think that's what a lot of people's issues with the Creator Fund is. They joined it thinking that they're going to get all kinds of money, and when they don't, they get all upset and then they don't want to do TikTok anymore because they weren't making an income. Well, it's only 10,000 followers. Yeah, 10,000 followers is a lot of followers, but really, it's 10,000. Yeah. You have some followers, 29 million followers.
No, it's you're actually correct on that, and that's the thing. When people start looking at like for how much you get paid, see, like that's one of the issues for me. I got really upset, not because of joining the Creator Fund. I got upset when my views tanked and went from getting 6 to 10K per video to only getting like 3 to 900 per video. And that's where I got discouraged. And then when I joined the Creators Fund, it went down even more. And I'm just like, really? But
and I think that was I think what caused that, in my theory, in a sense, is when you are building something up like the Creator Fund as a company, you don't know what's going to happen until it releases. You can guess. You can make really good hypotheses on how this is going to affect the algorithm, how this is going to affect the people. But until you actually launch it, you're not going to know. And I think it let too many people in too fast. I personally think you should not be able to get into the Creator Fund until you're at 25,000. Because anything below that, you're just adding people into a whole new algorithm where they're in a now group with all the 3.2 million following creators, and you're trying to compete with them in the same pot of money. And I think those who are not in the Creator Fund and those who are two different algorithms completely.
I think so too.
But if you only got 10,000 and you jump into the ring with these guys with 3 million, you're gonna lose. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's just because you're just at that point of being invited to the party doesn't mean you know anybody at the party.
Yeah,
just doesn't mean you're going to be invited to the beer pong game or get to go into the VIP room. You got in the door, and that's it. So I just like when it came down to merch. Like, I have no interest in even thinking about merch until I hit 25K.
Fair enough.
Because then I'm gonna do all this merch and I'm gonna get discouraged because it's not selling.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
I think people get too excited about the Creator Fund.
Okay.
Once you hit that specific point and you can start actually getting enough views, then you can invest in that. But yeah, it's going to cap you out because it's in a whole different realm of algorithms for the app.
And that is true. Now, let's get to my closing questions now, since we got on a really deep topic right there. So, first things first, is there any question during the interview that you thought I would ask but never asked?
No. I don't think I even really. I don't think I guessed. Maybe. No.
Okay.
Maybe my inspiration for each character I have. I thought maybe that would be asked.
Oh, go ahead.
That was what I prepared for.
Go ahead. Let's go.
But I've kind of already gone into that as well, so it's kind of my fault it wasn't asked because I've already kind of put that answer in with something else, like Nocturnus being my non-shy, goofy, feels person. Axel's my asshole. Dark Fiend is my dark and demonized one. And those are my main three. And then of course Blaze, but Blaze is my werewolf, my Lycan.
Mm-hmm.
I have no intent on him doing any kind of talking content. It's going to be all transition.
Okay.
I have no intent on him talking in any way. He's going to be that werewolf that can.
Okay, fair enough. Now,
So,
Mystery Pop Tart, which is the one who threw the propane tank into a fire. I don't know if I said that, but she threw a propane tank in a fire, and it blew up and burnt down a bridge. But anyway, any strange fire stories?
no.
Oh, good. That's good.
No.
That's really good. Redeem Hydrate. All right.
Bonfires in the orchards when I lived in California, but that's about it.
Okay, fair enough. So now the second question is, do you have any interesting facts about yourself that no one knows or only few people actually know? Like how Dr. Zed is a prosthetic leg. Gothic Thug has no belly button. Ari Goes Rar has, like, her two bones for her arm are fused. So she can't really twist her wrist like that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't give myself enough credit for anything. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, I don't have any, like, superly odd ones that I can think of.
Okay.
But I guess, I don't know, my girlfriend could probably answer that question better than I can.
Pretty much just not enough self-confidence is what you're saying?
No, I have a fear of my ego getting out of control. Because I can be not conceited, condescending and cocky at times. And so I basically over humble myself in order to avoid becoming that person.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like when it comes down to my spray paint art, people are like, "Oh, that's gorgeous." I'm like, "All right, thank you. Looks great. Yeah, I can see everything wrong with it, but go, yeah, thank you." Like I don't know how to react to compliments very well because I don't like that feeling of noticing when my ego gets too high.
Fair
People
enough.
will tell me and it'll force me down, but I don't like that feeling at all.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. No, okay. Okay. Wow, that's an interesting one. Then we got one more question from chat. Any weird broken bones or medical stories?
I broke my arm jumping off a swing when I was a kid. Other than that, medical stories, no, not really.
Okay, okay.
When it comes down to that, I have my medical issues, thyroid problems, things like that. But as in things that are story worthy, no, not really.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, okay. Not like Ash's story where her eye felt like it was gonna pop out of her head, and her mom says, "Oh, you're fine." And then it got worse. They brought her in, sent her to the ER because she had like a major infection where she only had like maybe 24 hours to live if it wasn't taken care of.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like that was a crazy one, but very interesting. Like whoa. And now she's like, always goes to her mom like, you know that one time, Mom, you tried to kill me? Just to mess with her.
I can say this. So the last, I have to get my gallbladder removed. The last gallbladder attack I had, I was admitted into the hospital, and they gave me so much Dilaudid that I didn't even realize what was going on. But the funny part about it is, I was involved in a takeover auction at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I bid on 2 different creators and won and paid what I bid. And the next day I didn't even realize that I had bid on anybody at all.
Holy shit.
They had me on so much medication that I sat there and bid on people in an auction. I even paid it at that time. Like as soon as I was done, I sent the money in. And the next day they're like, "Hey, you want to talk about when I can do that takeover?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? What takeover?" I'm like, "Oh my God, the auction was yesterday." So I'm hitting up the person that was running going, "Hey, how much did I go for? Who won me?" Like, I was just in the hospital completely on so much Dilaudid that I didn't even realize that I had bid on anybody or that somebody even bid on me. I just knew I was missing money out of my account.
Wow, that is a story right there.
That was the last time I did an auction.
Right? Shit. Gotta be safe on that front. Damn.
Yes.
Well, I mean, like, if you go through those drugs again or whatever it is, because, like, you were medicated for surgery, or, I mean,
yeah,
you're not going to remember if you were in an auction or not.
right? Yeah, and because it was COVID, there was nobody else allowed in the room, so there was nobody to stop me.
Oh my
so
God.
I had my phone right there with me, watching the auction, bidding into the auction, and nobody to say, "Hey, dude, you should probably not spend any money right now."
Your judgment is not at the highest peak right now. Are you sure you want to be doing this?
I'm pretty sure I am sure I bought something on Amazon because it showed up at my house a few days later. Just something small, nothing big, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, me and the medication for that didn't get along.
No, it doesn't sound like it. That's a pretty good story, though. It's pretty good. So now, the last question. Do you have any questions for me and Blood?
What made you guys? Because I noticed that you guys do a lot of videos combined.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys choose which account those go on based on who just has the most following to get the most reaction out of them? Or do you? Because I noticed you guys do mostly on hers.
In actuality, we dual post. Anything we do together, we dual post.
Okay.
We do post at separate times, not at the exact same time, but essentially what happens is I put two phones up, and I sync up both phones to be able to record. So I press them both at the same time, so it starts doing the countdown. And then we do it from both phones, so it's technically a slightly different camera angle. Like, if you try to match them up together, they won't match up perfectly. And then so the algorithm realizes it's a totally different video.
Fair enough. I didn't even think about that, having a whole other phone there.
Yeah. It's a bitch, but it works out great. Like, when Wolf of the Void was in town, we did a couple collabs. I was doing 3 phones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I'm interested in doing too, is doing the whole collab and everybody getting together. I know there's a couple of people that live up in Vegas, which is only about an hour and a half from me.
Nice.
But I know with COVID, a lot of people don't. I know that there's some of the big name creators that we've seen do collabs that get together and they go fly out and all that. But me, I work in enough community based and around the public enough that I'm not gonna push my luck.
Yeah. Yeah, believe me, like, right now it's like spiking because everyone was free for a while and then it got to recollect and spread faster. And so,
well, everybody knew it was going to once the season came around.
Oh yeah. So, damn, collabs and then COVID don't mix. So, what is? Oh, not what is. What do you have any more questions for us?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Nothing at all.
Was there ever a time where you guys thought about walking away from TikTok completely?
Me? No. Well, what about you, Blood? You thought about walking away from TikTok completely before numerous times. Talk kind of loud too.
3 times total. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 times for her. Because, like, how her views were higher than mine on average. But then all of her views just tanked worse than mine. I actually get more views on my stuff now compared to some of her videos. And she has 6K?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has 76K while I only have 28K, I think it is. And that's a big deficit right there. But yet
huge difference.
But yet I get more views than she does.
On your okay, so you said that you film the same thing twice. Do you ever do content just on yours, just for you?
She does a lot. Me,
Yeah.
I do, but it's not OC content. It's actually the highlights to my interviews and random funny gaming moments when I'm live.
Do you think those get more the hits than, or is it the same video you get more than she does?
It's sometimes the same video, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know that such as Twitch streams and things like that, those grasp the attention of all different types of people.
Mm-hmm.
Cosplay is going to grab the attention of those who like cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still baffled that there are those who get 3 million followers in cosplay. Now I understand that that a lot of them it's thirst trap cosplay in a sense, and that's going to grasp attention as well, even from those who don't like cosplay. But for those of us who don't like the thirst trap ones, or it's strictly just creation content, we're not going to we're targeting such a small population of people.
Yeah.
But things such as your highlights for your interviews, those are always interesting. So it's going to grasp the attention of people. So I can see those getting more views than the cosplay content. But if it's the same video, I don't know. Maybe your your non-cosplay videos are boosting your algorithm engagement for those videos. Because I've noticed when one of my blind duets boost hits like $6,000, all my next 5 videos of cosplay, it'll hit like 600 to 1,000 views.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden it'll drop back down again. And I started noticing that every Monday, Tuesday, my traffic would suck. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, my traffic would go skyrocket. And then it would change days. And then, so it's really just it can be figured out, but then they're going to switch the algorithm again. And now you have to figure out that next algorithm.
Yep.
But I love your guys' couple content.
Yeah, everyone says that they love our couple content. And the thing is,
it tells a story.
Yeah, and that's all her. She's the one who thinks of everything. I'm the Twitch and YouTube guy. She's the TikTok person.
It's almost got some of them almost have that Black Dahlia storyline feel to it, or Edgar Allan Poe feel to it, or that dark romantic feel to it.
Did you hear any of that? No, you didn't, did you? Okay. He was saying that our couple content is good and it's got dark romantic feel. Edgar Allan Poe is poetic. And she's just like, yeah. He's like, yeah. And thank you for that, because it's true. Like, she puts so much time and energy in thinking about how to do these, and the way we connect and just make content, it's interesting. Like, we could flow with anyone that we do content with. Like, it's very interesting. But yeah, wow.
Yeah, I try to be as different with my content as possible, but I want each character to have a specific vibe to it.
Exactly. Like, my Lethios is more serious. Like, for me, I don't know why, but Lethios seems like my more serious, sarcastic / I give no fucks about you, while
that's Axel for me.
Yeah, while my original one's more goofy for me. I don't know why. It is. Even though they wear the same clothes, just different makeup. Don't know. And that's the crappiest part, Lynx. My face is you know what, creeps? You know what? You do not have the GOTS, but they are in bags with the socks. So go get the GOTS. And
wear with the bots.
Yes.
In the socks.
Yes. I don't know if you saw I got the GOTS yet, but yeah. And that's true, Lynx. That really sucks, because you make different content, but yet a video that is not even related to your content, and I have one too, 4,000 views for him. All right, Wolf of the Void came in town, was like, I don't understand, why does this Twitch streamer have so many people, but yet he's not interactive with this chat? He's not interactive with this crowd. And it's like, I just didn't understand it. Well, he was looking at his girlfriend, and mind you, his girlfriend's wearing tight sweats where you can see front and back leggings, and she had a cup, and when she was holding the cup, she was going like this, and he's like, yeah, they're tight. They're very tight. He turns around, walks away. He goes, oh shit. Realized he looked at his girlfriend's ass while live. I clipped that. Put it on their Stroud thinks they're tight. Very tight. Like on the top caption. And catch him walking away and then coming back. 28,000 views.
Wow.
My next video, not even 1,000. Well, at that time, yeah.
Well, I also think that recently, say the past 2 months of algorithm has been influenced by the elections.
Oh, yeah.
So right now, anything political is going to grasp the algorithm first. Because that's what everybody's attention is going to go to.
That's the hot topic.
Once the election is no longer a hot topic, I think our views are going to go up.
Yeah, that makes sense because
I just refuse to do anything political.
Because same. I don't. That's.
Some people are getting suppressed like crazy when they were being pushed out like crazy before, like we were.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, other creators who were like smaller than me, like that got into Shadowban land, they started getting pushed out like crazy, and now they're like triple my numbers, and it's
like Blue Eye Darkness.
It's like, whoa, when did that happen? I mean, I'm not saying that they don't deserve it, because they do, but it's like, wow. What the hell changed?
Like Blue Eye Darkness, we both had more of a following than she did. Then out of nowhere, she just blew up in weeks, and it just kept, and she keeps going up and up, which is great. She deserves it, but it's just like, what was so different? Like, what was it? But we won't figure that out because they keep changing things so often. But
the right audio at the right time.
Yeah, right audio, the right hashtag. All those things. So, any more questions, or is that it for today?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. We're gonna see who's online today, and yeah, it looks like Ghoul Bagel's online. We're gonna go drop her race just playing Dead by Daylight. But yeah, everyone, thank you for coming out and having a good time, because I know I did. It was a great night. And stay on the line after this, but with that being said, we're going to, you guys are going to go pay a visit to Ghoul Bagel for a little bit, and I'm going to hop off here and have a good night. But, bye-bye!
Have a good one.